All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Defiant Legacy. We have Kelli here on the show, CEO of Body Basics. How are you doing, Kelli?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So if you could just introduce yourself and give us a little bit about background of who you are.
Hey everyone. My name is Kelly, and I recently launched my business last week, which is Body Basics, which is a women's athletic wear line. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Dallas. I attended UConn for my undergraduate degree. I ran track and field there. Worked some jobs, still work a job now, but I'm definitely shifting a lot of my focus to my business.
Okay. And having been a recent graduate of UConn, obviously, shout out to the Huskies. Do you think that's kind of prepared you in a way for you opening up your own business? And you can
Yeah.
be honest. You can be honest. Like that wasn't a layup
And
question. You be honest.
yeah, no, yes and no. Yes, because in college you have to have a certain level of focus just to make it through those 4 years, and you have to learn how to be locked in without somebody um telling you what to do all the time. I really feel like track actually prepared me more than college did because I got so much discipline from that. And, track is a team sport, but it's also you against you every time, you get on the line. So I feel like that's kind of how it's been with my business. Like, yeah, there's other athletic wear lines out there, but at the end of the day, it's going to be, me versus me when I keep pushing this product out and trying to grow my business.
Yeah, and you mentioned discipline. So how have you kind of carried that character trait to your business now?
Just a lot. I'm going to be completely transparent. The process of starting a business is very, it's not just as easy as you see on Instagram. Like I know celebrities pop up with new businesses every day, but when you actually get down to the nitty gritty, you have to stay focused because there's a lot of things on the internet. There's people in your ear. There's a lot that will deter you from, um, completing your mission. And it's just a lot of distractions out there. You have to be disciplined. You have to, if you're trying to build a business, you have to have a plan. You can't just, oh, let me go file for an LLC. I want to start a business. No, what are you going to do every day to make sure that your business is successful?
Okay, so even going off that, I know it's still relatively new, but have you experienced a difference in ups and downs, the good and I won't say the bad, but just maybe obstacles that you've kind of had to face and how you've overcome them?
Yeah, so when I first launched my business, I had a lot of support, like on my launch day, and I was at such a high. And one thing that I never really accounted for, or I guess thought about, was like after those first couple days, orders are going to slow down. Like you can't just, when you launch a business, it's not just going to be you're going to do $1,000 in sales every day, like that's like a few day thing. So I would say that just it wasn't necessarily a low, it was more of a reality check, but coming down from that high and seeing, okay, like, I need to do more marketing or, I need to do this and that. I would say that's been, an adjustment for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been a week, 2 weeks on Saturday. So it's something that I've adjusted to and moved on quickly from.
Do you think, would you say going off that you kind of prepared yourself mentally for that beforehand? Like, did you think that was going to happen?
I honestly, I don't know why I had such like a euphoric feeling like going into my launch, and all I could think about was getting all these like notifications on my phone and all these order emails that I honestly never thought about that. And then my mom was like, like how are you preparing for, the next couple of weeks or like the next couple of months, because it's not always going to be like this. And it didn't cross my mind until then. And then I was like, wait a minute. And, some days went by since my launch. And, I'm again being transparent. I've had days with no orders. And it's just kind of like on those days where it's kind of slow, I'm just like, okay, what am I going to do to make sure that I make up for this tomorrow?
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
But I'm sure when you first, thought of creating the business, it was more of a long-term thing for you too, right?
What do you mean?
Like in terms of like, even though you probably knew that the first day would be one of your better days and that following that it might be a little bit slower, you still knew in the back of your mind that, okay, this is something that, I could potentially want to do, even past, a couple of weeks or a month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Like when I think about my business, I'm always thinking, okay, where am I going to be in 6 months? Where am
Mm,
I going to be in a year? 5 years from now. And I just have such big goals for my business and where it can go that I try not to let, the lows like that, since I'm just starting out, kind
mm,
of deter me. Because I think that happens with a lot of people in our generation. And it's just like, you start a business, you have that high feeling. And then, especially with apparel and stuff, like once orders stop, you kind of get low on yourself and you start to kick yourself. But it's just like, you have to keep going. Like, how do you think Fashion Nova and Pretty Little Thing, like, how do you think they got to where they are?
mm.
So, yeah, I just try and remember that.
Okay. And I mean, you mentioned your mom, and previously you mentioned your friends as well. So what has it meant to you to kind of receive support from people that are close to you, your loved ones?
Oh my gosh. I mean, before I started my business, I had a lot of help behind the scenes. Actually, my sister, I need to put her on payroll because
Wait, is,
she,
it, is this the one that is she watching right? Okay.
yes,
Okay.
who's right here
Shout
taking
out. Shout
notes.
out. Okay.
I mean, she went above and beyond. Like, honestly, it's my business, but I'm not choking up. I just got
Mm.
something in my throat.
Oh.
She did a lot for me and just went out her way. She has a job too, so it's like she didn't have to, but as a sister, she did so much for me. Like, just helped me with my inventory, putting the tags on it, just staying
Mm,
on top of things, like ordering shipping supplies, just stuff that I would have probably forgotten because it was just like so much at once. But aside from her, yeah, my mom's been a great help. She used to own a boutique in Chicago a few years ago, so she's helped me a lot. My friends, other family as well, my friends have showed out. Like, shout out to my friends. It's been, it was overwhelming at times, honestly,
mhm,
but all I have to say is that the support is real, and
mm.
I'm very thankful for that.
Did you think you'd receive this much support though?
You know what? I honestly did. And the reason that I did is because I have a great circle of people in my life. And, when I first had this idea to launch Body Basics, I didn't tell many people. Right. So I posted something on Instagram, like just a picture of me in one of my sets, and the comments were just crazy. And at that point, I felt a little more confident. People started asking me, like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was still like, I'm working on a brand, because I honestly wasn't comfortable saying, it just took me a while to get to the point where I was going to say my brand name and I was, going to be able to stand beside it. Like, I just wanted to make sure that everything went smoothly first, because I'm scared of failure.
Mm.
Or I was scared of
I was
failure.
gonna say, are you still?
Um, Honestly, I feel like I've had such a good start that I feel like I can't lose at this
Mm,
point. Like,
mm,
that's the point that I'm at with where I'm at with the brand 2 weeks in. I'm just very confident in what I'm doing. I'm confident in the sets and the products that I'm going to have in the future. So I can't. But really quick, going off of what I said about support,
mm,
one thing that I just want to say is that this is just my advice for other small business owners. You cannot expect support from anybody, unfortunately. Even if it's your friend or family members, they don't owe you support. And that's actually something that I learned, but it's something that I didn't harp on.
mm,
Like, I'm not focused on the people who didn't buy from me, or, the people who didn't support, because I feel like for every one person that didn't, 5 people did.
mm,
But I feel like that's something that a lot of people get caught up in and they fall out about. But you don't know why they didn't support. It's like, I don't know why you didn't buy my set. I'm
right.
not going to be, I'm not somebody who counts other people's pockets. So
Mm,
people have stuff going on in their life, and you cannot, that's just one major thing that I've learned. And you see it all the time on Twitter, on Facebook. Like, people be like, it's so many people watching you, not supporting, not liking. Like, you don't know why people, that's the big thing. You don't know why people do what they do, and nobody owes you anything.
mm,
I'm not gonna lie. I had people who were like, oh, I can't wait every day. Not every day, almost every day.
mm.
you know, I can't wait till you launch. Like I'm buying, I'm only wearing this, like blah, blah, blah. Launch date comes and goes, nothing.
Mm,
And that's fine. It's not even something that I'm, gonna address. It's just like, okay, maybe you didn't want to get it then, or maybe you change your mind, and that's fine. That doesn't affect that you're still family and that we're still friends.
mm.
But I
So
think
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, like, I think that that's something, it's very true. Like, you will be very surprised if you start a business at who supports you and who doesn't, but it's just not something to get caught up on. Like, you have to channel that energy towards your customers and who did support you. Like, now I'm going to reward, those who did support me and the loyalty with that. But it's just like, it's nothing, you never know people's reasons for why they do what they do. So don't get caught up in that. That's my advice.
Would you say it was easy or difficult for you to not take it personally?
I think it was something that I thought about before I launched, but after, like, it would be things, that I would notice, like, oh, so and so didn't order. It would just be a split second thought in my head because, like I said, for every one person that didn't order, I feel like five more people did.
Mm,
And it just, you can't take it personal because you don't know what they have going on. You don't know why they didn't order. It's just like you have to kind of just, it's life.
mm,
Nobody owes you anything.
mm.
And like I said, people fall out about that all the time,
Yeah.
and I have friends, and what people don't understand is that support is more than just buying. Support is reposting, it's liking, it's commenting, it's spreading the word. So that's not the only way to support. But what I'm saying and what gets a lot of people caught up is them thinking, oh, we're beefing, or, oh, we fell out because you didn't buy from me. No, you don't know why they didn't do that. Don't try and stress yourself and figure it out. Just like I said, worry about your customers who did buy.
Mm. Yeah, that's real too. I mean, the thing is, what I noticed, all the things that you mentioned, the likes and comments, shares, all those things are free, right?
Yes,
So, and it amazed me, too, what people share versus what they don't. And again, like you said, you don't take it personal. People, they're not obligated to share, your stuff or anyone's stuff, but how
right.
quickly people tend to share, things that they don't
Exactly.
know slash
Yeah.
celebrity stuff, right?
Yes.
But when it's people who you talk to on a day-to-day basis, that you're cool with, they're a
Yes.
little hesitant.
Yeah.
But that's good though that obviously you're not taking it personal. You understand that it's a business at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But so would you say though now, how's the shift been from being a customer or a consumer of said product and now being a business owner? Have you experienced any difference in that?
Um, Not really, because I feel like I'm going to promote my own brand.
Mm.
I'm going to wear my stuff, period. That's all I'm going to be wearing now. If I'm working out, if I'm going to the grocery store, I don't care where I'm going. I almost wore it on the Zoom. But it's like I feel like as a business owner, you have to wear multiple hats. And that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a walking advertisement. I'm going to be my own customer. I'm going to be the CEO. I'm going to be the marketing person. So it's just like, it hasn't been that big of a shift because I'm going to support me and I'm
Mhm,
going to rep me, even if nobody else does.
mhm,
But yeah, so it's been smooth. I was already wearing my stuff because I'm not going to say I love working out, but I work out often. So that's kind of how I did some of my promo, like wearing my own sets.
mhm.
And then, when it came time, I was ready to roll them out and people had already seen me in it.
Yeah,
So people know anybody who has a brand, they're going to wear their own stuff as they should.
yeah.
So
But so how does that feel though, right? You obviously you're the owner and CEO of it, but to know that what you're wearing is yours. It's
it's
not like, somebody, from somewhere else. Like it belongs to you. How's that feel?
I mean, it's an amazing feeling, honestly. Like, and I just love wearing my stuff. And somebody's like, oh, where'd you get that from? Oh, that's my brand. Here's the website.
Mm,
So it's been fun. It's
mm.
been fun.
And so what would you say ultimately inspired you to create your own brand? Was there a specific moment? Was it something that you always thought about and then you just eventually said, all right, let's do it?
Full transparency, I literally woke up one morning coming out of the pandemic. So this was in
Mm,
May 2021. We've been in the pandemic for a year. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to start a women's activewear brand.
mm,
only told a few people, not including my mom and sister, and I just did it. And and there were a lot of moments. I mean, finding vendors, wasting money, ordering stuff, and then it not fitting right or it looking different than it did on the website. There's a lot of things that are meant to take you out. And there's a lot of things that can, completely discourage you when you are in the process of starting a business. But what kept me going was that end goal. And, was thinking, just of where my brand can be and where I'm going to make sure that I take it, and it just hit like, it's just something that I'm really passionate about because I really believe in the, like, when you look good, you feel good. And I just wanted to highlight, women being able to look great at the gym or wherever they go in their body basic set. It does not just have to be in the gym. We in the airport with it.
Heard you.
Global. But I just wanted to highlight that because I feel like it's so important, like as women, men too, but like we know when we are just put together and when we're just confident in what we have on our body, it makes whatever we're doing 10 times better. And so I felt like that's what motivated me, bringing that confidence back to women.
Okay. So talk to me too. I think I heard you mention, the losing of the money / the vendors / you get the clothes and sometimes they didn't fit. Talk to me about those moments because I think that's equally as important as a success, right? Is the bounce back.
Yes. I mean, oh my gosh, it's just so much shit. I mean, it's just so much stuff.
Oh, you can curse. It's okay. It's
My
not,
mom watch this. I can't.
Okay. I'm about to say it's not live TV. You
Um,
good.
it's just so much stuff, and even now, but less now. It's just so much stuff in the beginning process that can just go wrong. Like I said, ordering from vendors is truly a hit or miss. First of all, it's very hard to find a vendor. There are a lot of vendors out there, but it's very hard to find somebody that's going to match your quality that you have, like it's easy to just go pick, there's plenty of stuff on Amazon, and there's plenty of stuff on these websites. And it's like, yeah, people, sometimes people just do that. But one thing about my brand that I wanted to be specific was these aren't outfits that you can go buy on Amazon. These aren't outfits that you see everywhere. They're very, in my opinion, specific to my brand. But yeah, it was just a lot. Like when I was, I would order stuff and the sizing would be completely different. It would be a different material. It would be a different color. And it's just like, dang, like after waiting so long to get it in the mail, to have that happen, it just felt disheartening every time. Like it just felt like a setback, but you have to keep going. And, that's something else with the business. You have to make sure that your financials are in line to be able to do that, because it gets expensive. It is very expensive and it gets expensive. And I think that that's something else that I'm learning. Like it's going to take a while to break even, and it's not going to just take, my 2 weeks. Like, no, I'm not just going to make back all that I spent. And I'm okay with that, but it's seriously the definition of trusting the process and being extremely patient because a lot can go wrong. You have to anticipate it. Actually, it doesn't matter if you prepare for it. You still won't be prepared when it happens, So it's a lot of things at a left field, I would say, that can happen. Even with having a website, people buy stuff and do chargebacks. And it's like, okay, now I got to deal with that, and just building a solid foundation for your business, sticking to your policies. Even I've had problems with shipping. People's tracking says delivered and they're like, oh, I never got it. Then it's like, okay, here we go, another can of worms. But every fire that's happened has been put out. So I'm grateful for that.
But I'm saying you deal with it. But I think too, though, I mean, you mentioned the cost and the finances. But it sounds as if also too, you didn't open your business just from a monetary standpoint, right? Like there's a message behind it.
So, oh yeah, definitely. I just felt like it was something that I was passionate about, so I had to do it. When I woke up with that idea that morning in May, I literally like got started on it immediately. I didn't do 8 to 10 months of research on vendors. I didn't save up for 2 months to be able to buy my LLC. I didn't do this and that. I was like, I'm going to do this. And that's not my advice because every person is different. I do feel like adequate research is needed, but I also think that when you just have like a burning feeling like that, where the thought just won't go away, you need to go for it because you'll never know if you don't try, And I'm sure plenty of people feel this way. Like people have amazing ideas that are created in their heads, and a lot of them will take them to their grave. They don't act on it, unfortunately, but I didn't want that to be my story. I'd rather try and fail than try and never know.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeesh. It's funny, for those of y'all listening out here, before, we record this episode, Kelly told me that she would be kind of nervous. And I don't think we have that problem.
It's gone out the window.
Yeah. It's a good thing. But so talk to me too about taking action and even in turning that thought into a reality, right? Turning that thought and that vision into something that like, all right, it's cool. Like I can see it in my head, but now I got to put this on paper. Now I got to make sure this is an actual business.
Yes. So I think the first thing that I did, it was nothing actually business, like pen to paper related. I think I immediately started ordering samples because I was like, okay, I'm saying I want to do this, but let me find the clothes. It took a couple weeks, maybe even a month to find, get the samples in the mail. Processing time is long sometimes, especially with COVID. But I think I did that first. And then actually one of the first things I did was get a logo after I came up. And for some reason, the name just came to me. It wasn't something I slept on for days. It was like Body Basics. I like that. So then, I wanted to look into a logo, and I actually, another UConn alum, Kaya Clark, did my logo, and she did a phenomenal job, and I love it. Everybody loves it. She also did my website, so shout out to her. So I got that. And then I don't know why, but once I had that logo, I just felt so empowered. I'm like, this is my brand. And, I hadn't done anything else. The samples started rolling in. I was like, okay, I like this. And I think after that is when I did the first, so that was probably June, into June. So I think after that is when I did like the first official thing, which was getting the LLC. Mm-hmm. And then after that, more samples, trying to decide like how I wanted to do my Instagram. That was a big battle for me, like announcing it before everything was set in stone. I was honestly terrified. Like my sister knows I was terrified to post anything about it because people sometimes when you want to share your joy, people want to steal your joy and people want to sabotage things for you. And that's happened to me in the past. So I was really skeptical. Like I didn't want to post anything. I didn't want to post my website link. I didn't want to post my Instagram name. I didn't want to post anything until everything was official. So until I had my Instagram name, until I bought the domain for the website, because I didn't want somebody to steal that from me, and I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, like there's a lot of evil people in this world. Yeah. And so, but yeah, after the sample started rolling in, I was just on a roll. I was sending my logo, like on my packaging, I have like my logo on there. My bags, I have it. I got stationery, like handwritten thank you cards. Then everything just came together. And then the final step was choosing a launch date. And I had done a photo shoot in my stuff. I was ready to go. Like my original launch date was going to be 8/28. But then I had a fire to put out because my order, like my sets were like super delayed, like were held up for weeks. And so I had to push it back, which sucked, but it all worked
back. You bounced back.
Yes.
You bounced back. So obviously, I'm not going to ask you, to name your vendor, keep that private, of course. But if you could tell others who might be interested in doing, I guess, something along these lines, the process of finding one. Obviously, again, don't reveal, your source, but, but, just the idea if people were, looking to get started.
google.com and be ready to be on there for hours and hours and hours. And just, again, just patience. It's a lot of trial and error with those vendors, communicating to them. A lot of time vendors are in different countries, which means different time zones, crazy shipping prices. Those are some of the things that can discourage you in the beginning, because you're spending hours looking for a vendor, you don't find them, and it's just like, but keep looking, because there's literally thousands.
Okay.
There's thousands.
Gotcha,
But that would be my advice. Just be ready to lock in, because you need to, because there's a lot. It's a lot to get through. But just don't think that the first vendor you find is going to be that vendor for you. Or, if you get a sample and it's 3 sizes smaller than what you ordered, that's just part of the process. It's all a huge learning experience.
Now, fortunately, correct me if I'm wrong, that 8/28 original date, there wasn't like a reason behind that date, right? It was just or was there?
You know what? The reason behind that date is because I really like the tagline, "Sorry for the wait." So I wanted something that ended in 8. And my date did ended in 8. My date ended up being 9/18, but it ended in 8, but not
sound like okay.
Yeah. So that was the reason for that. But I just assumed that my vendor was going to have my product by then. And that was incorrect of me to assume that, not be checking on the date and stuff, and just understanding the delays with COVID, which are like major right now.
Okay. And the reason why I asked that in terms of your exact timing was if you kind of planned ahead of time to make sure, like even months back then, if 8/28, outside of if it was a sorry for the wait kind of thing, if there was an extra plan behind that.
I don't think I came up with 8/28 till like I did my photo shoot. No, it might have been, I think I decided on 8/28 like at the end of July. So I had, it wasn't anything behind it. I really thought I was going to do 8/8, but clearly no.
No. It's all good. I mean,
8/8 was definitely not happening.
Yeah, so no 8/28, no 8/8, but instead 9/18.
Yes.
Okay, so just to kind of put into perspective for people, when you started, when you had the vision, you said it was in May?
Yes.
Okay, and you fast forward. It could have been in August.
So yeah.
But it wasn't on you.
No, yeah. Right. So May was the vision. June and July was ordering samples, getting the LLC, getting the logo. August was the brand photo shoot, securing the domain, the Instagram, stuff like that. And then September was the launch. But that timeline will not work for everybody, seriously, because I had a lot of support, like I said, from like my mom and my sister, as far as other things go. Like, it's what is really important to know is that you have to spend money to make money, like, and you lose money too. So that timeline really, like, that would just be my one piece of advice. And if I could go back, no, I was going to say if I could go back, I probably would have waited, but actually I wouldn't, because it worked out for me. Yeah. But you need to make sure that your finances are in order. You need to make sure you're in a position where if you lose a little money, you'll be fine. Like, you can still pay your rent that month. You just have to, it's worth the risk. But nothing ever goes as planned. So you have to be ready, with the backup. And like, even for me, I still have like a 9-to-5 job, and I'm not just going to quit my job just because I launched my business, So it's just been, it has been an adjustment, because it's not like, oh, I can just pack orders all day. It's like, okay, I can pack orders when I get off at 5 and I need to get to the post office before they close at 6, So it's not all unicorns and rainbows. It's, it's a lot to be locked into my day job and I know your thing is financial literacy, and I actually work for a Big 4 firm. So it's not, it's not no easy job.
There's work that's required. Yeah.
All day, 8 to 5, it's work being done. 5 to whatever, body basic.
So talk to me about that journey too. Not just balancing a 9 to 5 with your own business, but being the CEO of your business? And I think I heard you say your sister helps you out, but
Yeah.
sometimes people have 9 to 5 and they have a big team, but if your team
Mhm.
is small, how's that been?
It's been an adjustment as well. The hardest part for me, like when I first launched, I just hadn't like I didn't realize like how long it actually takes like to, I have like shelves to organize all my inventory, but I didn't realize how long it takes to get my inventory off the shelf, pack it, buy the printing label, weigh it, write a handwritten note for each order. So it's like now that was a lot. And I remember like I launched on Saturday. Um, I didn't think I started packing orders though till Sunday, and I wanted to get them shipped out till Monday. But I just remember that Sunday was like my friend's birthday. So we were out all day. And I just remember like literally packing orders like from like 10 to like after midnight. And I
Whew.
was like, okay, I'm averaging like 3 minutes per order. Like this is taking a long time. And I can only imagine like if I had, down the line, if I had a team, it would be easier. But my mom and my sister do help me, when
Okay.
they're able to as well.
Shout out. Yeah.
Shout
Shout
out to family.
out. And you said you were handwriting some things.
Yes. All of my orders, I hand write a thank you note because I have like stationery with my logo on my website. But I just felt like that was a good touch for me because I really am so appreciative of the people who buy from me and the people who support. And I need them to know, like saying, somebody buys and tags me on Instagram, saying thank you through an Instagram DM is not enough. Like I need you to know I am super appreciative and grateful for you, spending your money on my business.
Facts. Because as we mentioned before, they didn't have to. We talk
Didn't
about the
have
people that
to.
don't have to promote. The people that do buy a product, they don't have to. So
Literally, nobody has to do anything. My own sister and my mom, like, they didn't have to get anything, And it's just,
but I mean, yeah.
yeah, but it's just back to that principle. Do not expect it,
Mm.
And so that's what I want to make sure is very clear to my customers. One, I want to have good customer service. And two, it needs to be known, like, I'm very thankful.
Mm. Okay. So what would the Kelly of today tell the Kelly of May?
Write down a business plan. Actually, seriously, write like pen to paper, not type on the computer. Write down a business plan, like seriously, and watch it, manifest it and watch it turn into reality. Because I wish that I had like one day I want to do like a video or like, on my 1 year anniversary next year, I want to do something like showing how far I came. And I wish I had more. I think I have some pictures in my phone, but nothing crazy. I wish I had more evidence of where I started versus where I'm going to be at. Like I wish I would have taken more pictures, or like I wish I had like a screenshot of when I told this one specific person, you know what, I think I'm going to start this business. Because I remember that conversation like vividly. And I would just tell myself to don't stop believing in myself and bet on myself and double down. And that's what I feel like I did. Like I said, there were times where my belief in myself was wavering. There was too many bumps in the road. I was like, not going to worry about this. Even when I just got my 9 to 5, my new job in August. So it was like right before I launched. And like I said, it's not no play job.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, dang, like, should I put off my business, because I have to focus on this. I can't mess up with this job. But yeah, I would just tell myself that it's all going to work out because it did.
Okay. And you know what? You mentioned believe in yourself, right?
Yes.
So I wanna read something to you, and you let me know if this sounds familiar, okay? Give me a second, I'm gonna pull it up right now. All right. So I'm just gonna tell you where I'm reading it from. It's from
Okay.
your website. It's from your website.
Ah.
It's in the About Me section, and I want everyone else to hear what I'm getting ready to say. All right.
Okay.
So I'll read out loud. The reason that I've made it here is because I took the saying, faith of a mustard seed, and ran with it. I bet on myself and doubled down. Once I had the idea of body basics, I did everything in my power to turn my dream into reality. I had moments of self-doubt, but those were outweighed by moments of positivity and optimism.
Period.
Why, why did you decide to have that in your About Me? And what does that ultimately mean to you?
It means everything to me. That faith of a mustard seed, I haven't mentioned it in this interview, but it's very true. Like, it's such a small idea, and it's believing in it to be everything that I want it to be. It's not about, oh, I told people about my brand and they're like, girl, there's Lululemon, there's Nike, there's Adidas. Okay, but this is Body Basics. It's going to be what I want it to be, and it's going to be what I envision it to be. It's going to be different from that. So it's seriously, I mean, faith is huge, but it's like you really have to be at a certain space in your life. You have to have a certain mindset for stuff like this, seriously, to start a business. You can't let you can't let the obstacles, like I said, you can't let the obstacles become your focal point. You can't let it take away from your rainbow. There's always going to be rain, but there's always a rainbow after.
Right.
So you literally have to see it through.
Yeah.
You have to see it through, because like I said, if you don't, you'll never know what could have been. And at least now that I started it, I know what can be because I did it. I don't know what will be, but I'm still going to do everything in my power, to make my brand what I want it to be.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And to your Nike point and the Nike example, like, there's always going to be competition. I think most people believe that, like, I can't start this because there's somebody else doing it. Like, there's competition in everything. Like, there's probably very, very few things in life where you'll be the first one to think about.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I think that stops people from starting businesses all the time. I don't care what they're doing. I care about what I'm doing. Like I said in the beginning, it's me versus me. It's not me versus these other brands. It's doing something that's unique to my brand and what's going to make me stand out. Like, if I was worried about, other brands, I would have never, if that thought lived rent free in my head, like I think it does for a lot of other people, I never would have started my brand. I would have stopped right after I had the idea. I would have been like, okay, well, why would I start my brand when all these other brands already have this stuff, And it didn't. To be honest with you, I think I heard that more from other people than I ever heard it from myself. I don't think that thought ever crossed my mind.
And you didn't allow, it didn't allow you, it didn't affect you at all, did it?
No, I'm being so serious. I don't think that I ever said to myself, like, in my quiet moments, in my doubtful moments, I don't think that was a doubt. I was never like, but Lululemon's already out here. Everybody likes Nike leggings. I'm so serious. Like, I did hear that from other people, but never from me. And I'm proud of that.
Yeah. As long as it's that way, not the other way around.
Yeah.
As long as, like, you didn't have a great idea and you doubted yourself, then other people were saying, just go. As long as you believe in yourself, that's
right. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you can make it in this business world without believing in yourself. It doesn't matter if the whole world's behind you. If you're not, and you're supposed to be the person in charge, you can't rely on, that's the thing. You cannot rely on other people. Like, this is my business. My mom and my sister helped me, but at the end of the day, my name's on the LLC. I have to make business decisions for my brand. I can take other people's advice all day, but at the end of the day, I want to be the one who calls the shots, as a business owner should be, and I think sometimes people let other people get in their head too much. Hey, they didn't go through the journey that you did to have your business. They weren't with you shooting in the gym. And it's just like you gotta be all in on yourself above anybody else.
Right. All in, especially if it's you.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, a lot of people have, like, confidence and are, fans of celebrities and other people. But when it comes to you, you should be, like, all in, like 100%.
Exactly. Period.
So the final question that I have for you, Kelli, is a question that I've asked everyone that comes on Defiant Legacy. And that question is, how do you want to be remembered?
Man, as far as my brand, I want to be remembered as somebody who made women feel confident about themselves and made people feel really good in the skin that they're in. I don't want my brand to just, cater. And something I didn't mention, it's hard sometimes with stuff like this to cater to everybody, different sizes and stuff, but I'm working on it. Forgot to mention that earlier. But, I just want to be remembered for that, for my brand. And for me, I just, I want to be known as somebody who empowers other people. I'm not here to tear other women down. I'm not, jealous. Somebody else starts a brand, I want everybody to win. So I think that sums it up.
Yeah. And the fact that we all can win.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So one, I would say thank you. I mean, I know before, like I said, we started recording, Kelly was nervous, y'all. She was nervous. I think
We made it.
you did a great job. But if you could plug in, your website, again, remind people the name of your business, your social media if you want. Run crazy with all the promo and the marketing if you want.
Okay, yes. So my website is www.bodiedbasics.com. My Instagram is bodiedbasics. I'm not gonna say my personal Instagram, but
whatever, like I said, this is whatever.
Business is business. It's
right. Gotcha. Yes. Yes. So yeah, is there any final words you have for our lovely audience of Define Legacy? Any last words you want to leave them with?
Yes. If you're thinking about starting a business, do your research. 2, just do it. You will not know unless you do it. And you, like I said earlier, you would rather know and fail, but you probably won't fail because you got it in you. Right. Then just, what if you're sitting on this idea 40 years down the line and you're like, what could have been? You never want to be left with that what if or what could have been when you can just, you can do it now. It's not now or never, but just don't doubt yourself. That's my advice.
Yeah. And, going off that too is like, what if you end up being right?
Exactly.
You have a crazy idea.
No, but if every single day you feel like before launching Body Basics, I didn't know if I had a passion. Like I, went to college, ran track. Okay. Had some jobs after college. Okay. And I was never like, oh my God, like this is what I love to do. Like I wake up every day, for a long time, I had moments, I was working wherever I was working and I was just like, this isn't what I love to do. I want to find what I love to do. So that's how I knew when I woke up, had that idea about Body Basics, couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, this is it. And I do love it. I love picking the pieces. I love packing the orders, no matter how long it takes. And I love feeling the support from people, So it's just like, I could have been, if now was now and I never acted on that idea for May, I guarantee you it would have crossed my mind every day. And I probably would have done it by now if I hadn't already, which I did, but it didn't leave my mind. And I feel like that's how and I think a lot of people our age, whatever generation X, Z, millennials, I don't know what we are, but I think, people are there's just so many great ideas that we come up with, and it's just like, don't let other people influence your decision. Like if something keeps pestering in your mind, festering, I don't know, if something keeps living rent free in your mind, don't just let the fire burn out, because you never know what it can turn into. And it can be one of the best decisions of your life. And, like I said, people feel like they don't know their passion. They're just working their 9 to 5, hate their life. I get it. But if you're lucky enough to have that burning passion idea in your mind, do not sleep on it. Just don't. That's my advice. Do not, because like I said, it can change your life for sure.
Do you think, and I know I said last question, but based off what you just said, do you think that you found your purpose?
I really think that I did. Like I love this. I love what I get to do. I love the process. It wasn't perfect, but it helped me into what I am right now, Yeah. So I do. And I'm really looking forward to, that's something every day I wake up, Body Basics on my mind,
That's a good feeling.
Yes.
That's a good feeling.
And it's like, I'm just really looking forward to growing this and developing it, and the happiness that it brings to me, I don't feel like that feeling can be duplicated. And I'm glad that I finally found something. Because like I said, in college and after college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had so many issues, road bumps, things that stopped me. And it's just like, I never knew until I woke up with it. And so to me, that was worth it, going through the trials and tribulations. Like I said, still working a job, but I do feel like I found my passion and my purpose, and I'm just not going to let it go.
Hmm. Well, outside of me saying thank you for being on the show, I want to say congratulations, not just for the business, but for finding your purpose and your passion. Because again, there's people out there who have made millions and millions of dollars and still haven't found their purpose. So to know that you found what you feel like you've been placed on this earth to do is a blessing in itself. So
Yeah. Thank you
congratulations.
so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, y'all, Kelli, CEO of Body Basics, we appreciate you for being on the show. Peace.